Assalamualaikum and good day to our beloved lecturer, Madam Sri Intan. My name is Nadia Bashira binti Muhammad Saidi and I am from IM110 for a group of Faculty of Information Management. In this video, I will present the IMD221 individual assignment 2, which is the inoculating against fake news about COVID-19. Firstly, the details of social media misconduct. A novel coronavirus outbreak in December 2019 has triggered a global pandemic. It resolves fear, anxiety, and even paranoia in the community. Next, the World Health Organization has warned about an ongoing infodemic or misinformation. This makes it more difficult for people to locate trustworthy and dependable information when they require it. Lastly, researchers use psychological inoculation theory and the real world. In psychological inoculation, a strong challenge, for example, a conspiracy theory, is weakened to the point where it will not change the person's position, such as the person's healthy state, but it will trigger protective responses like enhanced critical thinking. Next are the highlights of the consequences of victim situation. Firstly, rejecting information from expert authorities. This is because they have developed a sense of being untrustworthy towards the information they get, even from the authority. Second are mob attacks, mass poisonings, and acts of vandalism. For example, people have set fire to at least 50 phone masts in the United Kingdom, alone in response to 5G conspiracy. And research shows that believing in the 5G conspiracy is associated with violent intentions. Third, vaccine hesitancy. For example, people who believed the virus was bioengineered were less likely to comply with public health measures such as staying at home and were less inclined to accept a COVID-19 vaccine. Lastly, leading citizens to health destruction. For example, the number of fatalities is increasing due to people who did not follow the SOP of COVID, such as social distancing, wearing masks, etc. Move on to the next slide, which is committed by who, when, and how. Who committed misleading information during the pandemic? It is the irresponsible end users. This type of end users did not do research when they got fake news and immediately shared them. Next are the political elites, such as the 45th US President Donald Trump spreads his own misleading beliefs during a pandemic. After that, paranoid and skeptical people would reject any information from the authority and proceed to make their own remedies, as they are skeptical of the information given by the authorities. Ultimately, their remedies are ineffective and only worsen their health, as they did not follow the health guideline for COVID-19, such as taking vaccines. Next is the public figures. The influence of public figures is quite similar to the political elites, but it depends on their number of followers. The more followers they have, the more dangerous it is when they spread false news about COVID-19. When did these incidents happen? Misinformation about COVID-19 mainly happened in the early and middle of the pandemic, around December 2019 to 2020. Furthermore, how did this happen? It happens due to the false news created by people. First is the famous one, which is the fake cures. For example, gargling with salt and lemon water and injecting yourself with bleach. The second tip is very dangerous and could result to serious health issues and death. Next is false conspiracy theories that the virus was bioengineered in a lab in Wuhan, China. The third one is the absurd news, which is the 5G cellular network is the cause of exacerbating symptoms of COVID-19. And the fourth one is the conspiracy film. Pandemic promotes dangerous health advice. For example, falsely suggesting that wearing a mask actually activates the coronavirus. And the last one is false news was promoted by political elites such as President Trump and Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro, who falsely claimed that hydroxychloroquine is working in all places as a treatment against the virus. The next slide is the remedy actions, actively inoculating against misinformation. Active inoculation aims to allow people to produce their own antibodies, for example, to resist false news. Bad news, an online browser game, is a real-world implementation of active inoculation theory. The game simulates a social media environment. The game inoculation component consists of A. Fake news alerts and B. Pre-exposure to attenuated doses of the techniques used to create fake news. As a result, bad news enhances players' ability to resist misinformation techniques after gameplay. The picture above is the bad news game interface. Next, the lesson learned from the situation. End users should investigate the source of news when it is about COVID-19 at the right source, such as the Health Ministry webpage. Next, the government should promote accurate COVID-19 attitudes and support healthier, safer COVID-19 preventive behaviors. This guides the community to follow the rules and regulations of the right COVID-19 SOP. And lastly, public figures should encourage the community to healthier behaviors such as social distancing and wearing a mask in public. They can promote this advice using videos, photos, and public messages to their followers. These acts of spreading advice could change the perception of their followers to follow the right path. In conclusion, social media could influence the end user effectively, whether it is a positive or negative influence. With this in mind, end users must stay alert and be aware of false news to avoid danger to one's life. Finally, everyone should find more ways to prevent misinformation on social media, such as banning all false news spreaders from having social media accounts and creating more secure and trusted news social media accounts. That is all from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.